وسهلا بكل الذين ينضموا للاستماع إلى راديو بلدي أول راديو عربي أمريكي ويعنى بقضايا العرب في المهجر. برامجنا في راديو بلدي كل يوم جمعة من 8 وحتى 9 صباحا مع ليلى الحسيني في بث حي ومباشر وعبر WNZK راديو 690 AM. صباح الخير بلدي، صباح الخير لكل مستمعينا.
Welcome to Radio Baladi, the first Arab, Middle Eastern, and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on WNZK 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
Good morning and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem, editor of wnzk.com and host of the Local Connections on US Arab Radio, the best ethnic radio in North America. This show is brought to you in cooperation between wnzk.com and US Arab Radio. We're glad that you're with us. Today is July 27th, 2018, and I want to thank you for listening. It's going to be another gorgeous day today. Temperature is in the 60s and will reach in the high 70s later this afternoon. It just does not get any better than this. This is July and we're getting into August and it's supposed to be hot, but we're not going to complain. We thank the Lord for this beautiful, beautiful weather. There's a lot in the news this morning and the same squabble is going on in Washington, as you well know, between the president and his former lawyer and all the, allegedly, the women he was involved with and paid off and all that stuff, and we'll let them sort it out as they duke it out. As long as the economy is doing well and things are going our way, we thank the Lord for that, and then Washington can be Washington. In the news also, wildfires in California, and then we have the flooding in other parts of the country, and we pray for these victims. We pray for these people that they get relief from the terrible weather there, whether it is natural fires or flooding. In the news also, a variety of different events that are going on in the community. We urge you to log in to either michigan.com or visit our websites to see what is going on. As you well know, August 7th is the primary election. I don't think there is any time is more important to really vote than this year. There's a lot riding on this midterm elections. This is the time when you go and select people to represent you in Washington. These are the people who make decisions on your behalf. You don't only elect people to be bosses. No, you elect people. You're hiring them to represent you and do the things that you want them to do. So this is the time for you to select the people that are going to work for you. Make sure that if you register to vote, go ahead and vote. We urge you to do so. If you're not registered to vote, make sure you register for the general election, and we hope that you do next time and register to vote. There are a lot of people in our community who are registered to vote and never vote, and this is very unfortunate. We hope that this election will change that. Normally, during presidential elections, a lot more people get to vote because of, the whole election revolves around a couple personalities. This is different. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of great candidates, and from our community and other communities are running. We urge you to vote for the right person. And we asked a few of the selection of the candidates to join us for the discussion this morning. And as we wait for them, who do we have on the line? Debbie. Good morning, Mrs. Dingell.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you, Congresswoman?
Doing okay.
That's wonderful. And we want to thank you for being with us, and we really appreciate your time. As you well know, we have the August primary, and we just wanted to have you and a few candidates over to participate in the show, and just let us know who you are, what you're running for, and why should people vote for you.
Okay. You want me just to start talking?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to ask me questions. I'm Debbie Dingell. I currently represent the 12th District of Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is a very diverse district. It encompasses the downrivers, which I love, which are right on the Detroit River, auto plant, Dearborn, which has Ford Motor Company headquarters and a very significant Arab American population, and continues west and has Ypsilanti in Ann Arbor. I think my district's one of the best in this country because it's a very diverse group of people, but we're one community and we love America.
Wonderful.
And I'm running again for re-election for the office.
Why should people vote for you?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to do the best job that I can to make sure that the people of the 12th District have a voice at the table. I really try to listen. When I'm not in Washington, I spend a great deal of time around the district. I frequently go to 10 to 15 events a day, farmers markets, luncheons and dinners and grocery shopping and church and every place that people gather. And what I understand is I represent a lot of working people, men and women who aren't asking for a lot. They want to have a job that's secure, that they make enough money so that they can live in a safe neighborhood, that they can educate their children. So we've got to have a good public school system, both for K through 12, but also so that young people can attend universities, colleges, or pursue the skilled trades without graduating with staggering debt. I believe that every American has a right to quality, affordable health care, period. And that we've got to do something to enable that if someone is sick, they don't have to think about whether they've got to go to the doctor. And the cost of medicine and treatments is sky high. And too many people are concerned about whether they can afford the medicine. And what worries me even more is now that this administration is, we forget how we got the Affordable Care Act and what the state of health care was in this country. And now this government is trying to take us back to a time that people with pre-existing conditions won't be able to get insurance or won't be able to afford it. That the woman that spoke to me when I took John to the doctor last week, who had a stroke in her 50s and didn't know what she was going to do, the mother who has a child with juvenile diabetes, and it wasn't only how her child was going to cope, it was whether her child was going to live.
Absolutely,
so those are the things that I'm fighting for.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people think that the presidential election is the year to really participate, but midterm are very important. How important is this election?
Midterm elections are very important, because it decides at a very local level who your elected representatives are going to be and what they're going to be fighting for. And people who stay home, sometimes I say I really do care, but there are times that I just say, you can't get upset at the system if you stayed home and haven't exercised your vote.
Exactly.
We live in a democracy. We live in one of the greatest countries in the world. And that vote that we have, the ability to go out and choose who represents us, is one of the most fundamental freedoms and principles of our democracy. So you may not agree with me, but go vote for the person that you think best represents the direction that you want to see this country go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to thank you for all the hard work that you do and for the representation that you provide this community and the relationship that you've had this community. We're so proud of really, of everything that you've done. And personally and as a community, we want to thank you for everything you do. I really do.
Well, it means a lot to me. This community is a very important community to me, and people have been trying to divide this country by fear and hatred.
Absolutely.
And there are many issues that we need to stand up for. We can't let other people define who we are. I get very angry when people start talking about national security or religious bans. First of all, we can't let anybody define who we are and what we think about national security. Every one of us that I know in my community wants to keep this country safe. But you don't keep it safe by trying to divide it with fear and hatred.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We've got to, work together. And one of the most fundamental pillars of our Constitution, freedom of religion and freedom of speech are being attacked. We can't take our Constitution for granted. We have to cherish it and fight to protect it every single day.
Absolutely. How can people reach you if they have any questions or there are any issues they'd like to know more about?
Well, my office is always open in Dearborn, especially if people have casework, immigration issues, or if they want to talk to me about an issue. And that phone number is 313-278-2936. I also answer my own emails. I do my own Facebook blogging, and I answer my own emails. And my email is d2@mail, M-A-I-L, .house, House.gov.
D2, the number 2?
Yep.
Yeah. D as in David, number 2, at mail.
.house.gov.
Wonderful. And is there anything else that the voters need to know?
I just think that this is going to be one of the most important elections of our lifetime. What we see sweeping this country, I don't take for granted what we have, and I don't think anybody can take for granted what we have. A lot of people, we need to talk about issues that matter. People get angry at what happened in the last election. Well, the people that President, I'm sorry, I'm now going to sound partisan. I was trying not to.
That's okay.
President Trump talked to people and said that he cared about trade. He cared about pensions. We have a lot of people in our community that worked a lifetime that thought that they'd have a safe and secure retirement, and they're now scared to death of what's going to happen. We need to care about our neighbor and understand what they're worried about, but we all have to stay together to protect our neighbor. And this election matters because the fear and the hatred we see dividing this country is attacking the fundamental roots of our democracy.
Absolutely.
And we all have to care about what's happening to our democracy.
Absolutely. And, we also, you and I talked about this before. I mean, we may disagree, but we can always talk about it and solve it, again, it just, we've had this community and you have had a really great relationship, a close relationship. There isn't a time that I would call your office that I don't get an answer, and I really appreciate that response and that willingness to help and work and serve this community. We thank you for that.
I really thank you for saying that, because I love this community and I'm a part of it. And people have tried to cause problems there. People are trying to divide us.
Absolutely.
In all sorts of ways.
Yep.
And we cannot let that happen.
No, we cannot. And sometimes, misunderstandings happen, but we're all a family, and family sits down and talk about it and solve their issues and don't let outsiders get involved and divide us.
That's the truth.
Absolutely. I want to thank you so much. I know you're very busy. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us. Thank you so much for this time. And again, I urge everybody, please go out and vote. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
You're welcome. Bye now. We're going to continue our show this morning, and we're going to be talking more and more about the issues that divide us and the issues that bring us together. And, this morning I was listening to the morning news on NPR, and they're talking about all the families that have been separated. I mean, how sad is that? We don't want people in this country. Just keep them as a family and deport them. That's it. Just tell them, I'm sorry, you can't come in. We don't have to take everybody. And, people wait years and years and years to get citizenship. So it's okay. We don't have to take everybody. There's nothing wrong with that. But keep families together. Just keep them together. And if you don't want them, send them back together. There is nothing worse than families now been deported, or parents been deported. Their children still in the U.S. And who knows, they may not get reunited again. I mean, I don't know what I would do if somebody takes my children away from me like that. So, this is just, and I don't understand the decision to do that. Why separate people? And I understand the justice system, and people commit certain felonies that we think, that you violated this law and that law, but we need to employ common sense. Common sense says there's a group of people together, Keep them together. You don't want them in this country. You just deport them. Put them on a plane and, deport them. It costs a lot less to do that than, housing them together separately, this and that. Again, we don't have to accept everybody. We have a criteria, and if they qualify, they get accepted. If they don't qualify, then they go back. As simple as that. But the crime here, to me, is separating all these people from each other. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
Are you going to start a restaurant or a grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
أسواق زمزم الواقع على 24065 أورشد لك في مدينة فارمington هيلز ترحب بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. تنزيلات كبيرة على عموم المواد الغذائية في يوم الأربعاء من كل أسبوع. لا تنسوا فريش كاري أوت، جميع أنواع المعجنات، وأيضا صواني الكمبو المشكلة والصمون الحار. لحوم حلال الجالية العربية والإسلامية، الملحمة بإدارة قصاب الجالية المعروف سلوان جربوع. زوروهم على 24065 أورشد لك في مدينة فارمington هيلز أو اتصلوا بهم على 248-476-0300. أسواق زمزم للمذاق عنوان لجميع طلباتكم. اتصلوا على 248-476-0300. أسواق زمزم للمعاملة الراقية وكرم الضيافة عنوان.
بدأناه معكم وعاهدناكم على أن نستمر بمزيد من المتعة والعروض الحصرية على قناتي زي ألوان وزي أفلام. زي ألوان هي أول وأكبر قناة مسلسلات عربية هندية في أمريكا. أضخم الإنتاجات، مسلسلات حصرية، ومع زي أفلام فأنتم على موعد مع مغامرة جديدة كل يوم لاكتشاف سحر بوليوود. تابعوا حصريا قناتي زي ألوان وزي أفلام الآن في أمريكا على ديش نتورك وسلينج تي في.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. Imad Nakash is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. Imad Nakash. See Dr. Imad Nakash and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937. 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. The number here is 248-557-3300. If you have a questions, a comment in Arabic, in English, please give us a call. We'd be more than happy to answer your question and take your comment on the air. The other issue in this election, and I think it's very important, it's what's going on in Washington, is the tariff. The tariff war is really horrible. It's tariffs normally, in general, I remember it was one of my subjects at when I was at the master's program at Norwich University, and we've done quite a bit of studies on that. And tariffs normally don't work. Sanctions don't work. Tariffs really, if it doesn't matter how you do them, they're nothing but tax on the citizens, our citizens. Anyway, tariffs are nothing but taxes on us, and we want to make sure that we elect people to help us and continue making Michigan a great place to live and a great place to work. And I think we have Gretchen on the... good morning.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Thank you so much for being with us. Again, we're talking about the election, and we're giving candidates equal time to explain who they are and what they're running for and why should people vote for them.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I jumped in this race for governor because I love our state. I am proud to be a Michigander. But I look around at the Michigan in which my kids are growing up, in which we all live, and it does not live up to the Michigan that I think of when I talk about my pride. This was the place that people used to flock to. It came from Kentucky or Alabama or halfway around the world. Came to Michigan because in our state, you could get a good job that would pay you well enough. You could raise a family up. You could retire with dignity in this state. You knew that no matter what community you called home, your kids were going to have a great public school education, that you lived in the state that's home to 21% of the world's fresh water, and you could confidently turn on your tap and bathe your children as well as give them a glass of water at the dinner table. And you could travel our roads safely. And I look around on all four of those measurements, and I know today's Michigan families deserve no less than the Michigan I just described, but we got a lot of work to do. And
Absolutely.
So I jumped in this race because I love our state, and we deserve better, and it's time to demand the kind of government that we deserve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, why should people vote for you?
Well, I think we've got some serious challenges, and as a former legislator, as a lifelong Michigander, as a mom, as someone who was able to cross the aisle to deliver health care coverage for 680,000 people through Medicaid expansion, that's the kind of leadership we need now more than ever. I'm not afraid to take on people in my own party. I did that when it came to education funding. I took on the Republicans when it came to collective bargaining, and I even went to the microphone and told my own story as a survivor when it came to women's health. But we've got to find common ground, and we've got to be, strong with a backbone to see through an agenda that fixes problems for Michigan families.
Absolutely. What's the most, there are a lot of issues, but what's the most important issue that really motivates you for this election?
Well, I look around at my kids' education. I look at their schools, and while we've got dedicated people who go into teaching, we've seen the continued disinvestment and demoralization of educators and disinvestment in education. And that is the backbone of our economy and our communities, and the one thing that gives kids a level playing field. I am determined to make sure that every Michigander has a real path to a high-wage job, and it begins with education, but it continues through career training. And this coupled with making sure every one of us has clean drinking water, I think are the most pressing issues of the day.
Yeah. How about insurance rates?
No question, Michiganders pay some of the highest insurance rates in the nation, and it is money that's coming out of rent or groceries or child care, and that's why it's time to have a governor who is going to install an insurance commissioner that's going to do their job, that we negotiate and work with all stakeholders to bring down the cost of insurance through eliminating redlining, having transparency in the catastrophic claims fund, and rooting out fraud.
Gretchen, for governor, how can people reach you?
Well, you can contact me through GretchenWhitmer.com. We are working extremely hard. We're taking nothing for granted. There's 11 days until the primary, and we've got thousands of people knocking doors and making phone calls on my behalf. And if anyone listening wants to get involved, I ask that you do. This is not just another election. This is about our lives. This is about our democracy. And this is about our kids and our future here in Michigan. I'd be honored to have your support.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time being with us, and good luck in the election.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you, Mr. Whitmer. And Fayrouz is with us this morning. Good morning, Fayrouz.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Again, who you are and what you're running for, what office, and why should people vote for you?
Sure. Well, good morning again to you and your listeners. My name is Fayrouz Saad. I'm running for Congress in Michigan's 11th Congressional District, which is basically the suburbs of Detroit, some of the major cities, Livonia, Northville, Plymouth, Canton, Troy, Rochester Hills, Bloomfield Hills, Birmingham. It goes on and on. There's 26 cities in Michigan's 11th district. I'm running because of the American dream. I mean, I'm the daughter of immigrants. My parents came to this country over 40 years ago, very simply in search of the American dream, and they found that here in Michigan. My family started a small business in Detroit's Eastern Market. Some people may have heard of it. It's called Saad Wholesale Meats,
Sure.
And they really found success here in America by really they settled, they grew roots, and they worked really hard. And they showed me that if you work hard, if you really you hustle and you really kind of take advantage of what America has to offer, that anyone can find success and find the American dream here. And so I really got into a career in public service, wanting to protect that dream, wanting to protect what brought my parents here. And I consider myself the product of the American dream. And so, I am a public servant. I've worked in all levels of government. I worked in state government for over 3 years. I worked in the Obama administration for a number of years as well, helping tackle some of our country's most pressing security issues. And then a few years ago, I started working for Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan as his first director of immigrant affairs, helping expand economic opportunities within the city for immigrant communities while also resettling refugees. And so I have a career of public service. And when I look at Washington right now, and when I look at the Congress we have in place now, I see a number of things missing. One is people who have the experience to lead, who really understand how to create policy and how to navigate Washington, and then how those policies and laws are actually affecting people on the ground. Two, we're missing diverse voices in Congress as well at a time in which it's so critical to have so many people of different backgrounds and voices at the table. Currently, only 19% of Congress is women, really showing we need more women.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I normally ask people, and we do that at the magazine and on this radio as well. We ask people to vote for the right candidate, no matter what their background is. At the same time, we hope that people in our community run for office so we can be represented. And the good news with you is you represent both these elements. You have a good background and then experience, and you're from our community. Your family have been very involved. You've been very involved in providing good service to the community. So we want to thank you for that. So why should people vote for you?
Well, we're at a really critical time in this country right now, and everything that we've seen, especially in the last few months, that unfortunately the courts aren't going to save us anymore. And so it really shows even more how important this election is going to be. And it's not just who we elect in November, but who we put on the ballot in November, because it's time for change and it's time for progressive change. It's time for people who are very clear about what they stand for and the issues that they represent, like Medicare for all, like ensuring we expand our economy, and then also immigration reform at a very critical time in this country.
Sure.
And that like I said earlier, and like you alluded to, people who have the right experience to do that, who can go to Washington and understand what it means to create legislation, how to navigate the inner workings of Washington, D.C., and then how these bills and this legislation affects people here on the ground.
Absolutely. Again, the whole idea is that to elect someone who's well connected in the community, someone who know what they're doing or knows what they're doing, and then have the connections in Washington to do that. And you seem to have that. So, final words. How can people reach you? And again, last sentence. What separates you from everybody else running for that office?
Sure. Well, first, people can reach me in a number of ways on my website, which is just FayrouzSaad.com. I think I trust most of your listeners know how to spell that.
Sure.
Also, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all as Saad for Congress or Fayrouz Saad. So please come find me. We need volunteers. We need donations in these last couple weeks. I have more $1 donors than I have $2,000 donors. And so every little bit is making a difference on this very grassroots-led campaign. And really what sets me apart from the rest of my opponents, while I respect all of them, is experience and really a progressive message at a time in which people are really looking for that message, really looking for that change, and ensuring that they send leaders to Washington who are very clear on who they represent and what they represent. And in addition to that, I'm one of few candidates in this race who has pledged not to take any corporate PAC money on my campaign. So that this campaign is really fueled by the grassroots, and it will continue to be that, and that when I get to Washington, I'll be representing the people who voted me in there.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate your time, and good luck to you in the election on August 7th. And please go out. This is the call to everybody. Go out and vote, and this is very important election. Thanks, Fayrouz.
Thank you.
Very welcome. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Dana, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
When it comes to reproductive medicine, IVF Michigan Fertility Centers are the recognized leaders. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 5 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. As a founding member of IVF Michigan Fertility Centers, Dr. Nicholas Shamma is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. Dr. Shamma has performed over 10,000 IVF cases and has helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. American board certified in both obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility, Dr. Nicholas Shamma is a very caring, compassionate, expert physician that understands not only the medical but also the emotional toil of infertility on his patients. When it's time, get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shamma at IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio. Call toll-free 855-952-9600, 855-952-9600. Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with wnzk.com. Again, this show is brought to you in cooperation between US Arab Radio and wnzk.com. Let me tell you a little bit about wnzk.com. I started the magazine. You know, as you all know, I've been in journalism for a long time. I have more than 18 years of experience writing for the St. Petersburg Times in Florida, the Bowman Enterprise in Texas, and then writing for the Ann Arbor News, about 10 years there until it closed in 2009. And my beat, we call it a beat, you know, the area that you write about has been, when you start in journalism, they first start you writing about courts and police, and after that I moved into elections and political parties and national, international news. I've had the pleasure of really writing and interviewing a lot of people, most presidents. I haven't interviewed President Obama or President Trump, but other presidents I have interviewed and talked to, and you know, you happen to be the reporter in the area where they come in, and you know, they talk to us and you know, conduct interviews. I remember working in Texas, and at the time, George Bush, President Bush was the son, that is, was the governor of Texas, used to come into our town, and I've had quite a bit of interviews with him there. Anyway, it's been a really rewarding time to be a journalist and to serve the community. And in 2012, you know, even though journalism has changed tremendously with the internet becoming more and more popular, and now everybody thinks that they can, you know, tell news and you know, write news, and it takes a lot more than that. So it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of skills to tell the news correctly and to tell it objectively and inform the public. One of my editors at the time told me a really good story. He said, listen, what is and what politicians say it is, there's a gap. And our job as news people is to bridge that gap and make sure that the average person is involved, that everybody is really informed to make the right decision. So you know, this is something very important. So and I started wnzk.com. Originally, it was Biz Magazine, which is a business magazine. We mainly focus on business news in the area, and you know, and we try to provide as much information as possible. To me, diversity is a two-way street. Not only we want to inform other communities about us, we also want to inform our community about other communities and teach them the system and explain to them what's going on in Washington, what's going on in Lansing, what's going on at the city hall, what's going on at the county. People need to know, because we live in a representative system in a great country, and people have the right to know to make the right decision. Who do we have on? Jerry. Morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Mr. Khalil Hachem.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Well, before anything, Mr. Khalil, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
And I'm not running for office.
Okay, you're gonna run from me, huh?
Actually, Mr. Khalil, in 1993, when I lived in the city of Troy, you know, Troy, Troy, there was a city council vacant.
Uh-huh.
I did apply, and I got the vote. And I was in the election with 19 other people.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my dad, rahmatullah, he becomes sick. He ended up in a hospital. And I, as a son, my duty was to take care of my dad. So I dropped from the race in 1993.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Khalil.
Yeah,
what
very
I try
quickly,
to
please.
say,
Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Khalil, the reason I call you, I encourage every Arab, Chaldean, American to vote on August 7th.
Sounds good.
Because one vote will make a big difference. Look at Judge Tarfa a couple of years back.
Yeah, few votes.
How he tried, and he lost in few, just a few.
Yeah.
But he didn't give up.
Yeah.
When he ran again, he won the election.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Khalil, in Arabic, أنا أحث جميع المواطنين العرب والكلدان في ديترويت الكبرى الذهاب إلى الانتخابات وإعطاء صوتك لأنه صوتنا هو وجودنا في هذا البلد العظيم، وهذا حق يعطيه لك الدستور الأمريكي. Thank you, Khalil, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Jerry. And what we're going to do is we will continue, discussing this issue as well. And again, wnzk.com that I established in 2012, the intention is to keep the community informed as much as possible. I do have an e-newsletter that goes out on Tuesday at 10:30 every Tuesday morning. If you're not in that, if we don't have your email address, send it to us so you can log in and visit wnzk.com and become part of that. Give us your email and then be informed. We reach up to 32,000 people in the community every week, and we provide as much information as possible to keep you informed about what's going on in our government. I'm not interested in he said, she said stuff as much. What I'm really interested in providing you information that is important to you, information about the system, information about the government, information about what's going on in your city, in your county, and at the state level. And I try to explain it to you. For example, when we talk about the tariff issue, tariffs, I don't care whether you support and you don't support and what your philosophy is. We need to be smart. Tariffs are taxes. If there are tariffs on cars, you're going to have to pay more for cars. So if you support such policy, you need to know what's going to cost you. It may cost you jobs. It may cost you this. It may cost you that. As long as you know you're making the right decision. This is what we do at wnzk.com, and we do it every week. And we appreciate your support by reading us. As you well know, by reading us, you're supporting us. And as you well know, means almost hello in Arabic, Michigan. And this is what the word comes in. Originally, we were Biz Magazine, B-I-Z Magazine, which is business magazine. And then we added Michigan to it, and then has been a really great success for us. And we want to thank you for your support. What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Dr. Shamma. Thank you. Please.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
بدأناه معكم وعاهدناكم على أن نستمر بمزيد من المتعة والعروض الحصرية على قناتي زي ألوان وزي أفلام. زي ألوان هي أول وأكبر قناة مسلسلات عربية هندية في أمريكا. أضخم الإنتاجات، مسلسلات حصرية، ومع زي أفلام فأنتم على موعد مع مغامرة جديدة كل يوم لاكتشاف سحر بوليوود. تابعوا حصريا قناتي زي ألوان وزي أفلام الآن في أمريكا على ديش نتورك وسلينج تي في.
قشة ميديترينيان ماركت بإدارة سهر قشات وأولاده يرحبون بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. جميع أنواع المواد الغذائية، البان طازجة، الكرزات والبهارات الطازجة. داخل الأسواق مطعم ميديترينيان شيش كباب يقدم يوميا جميع أنواع الكباب، المقبلات العربية العراقية وصواني الكامبو المميزة. تفتح الأسواق من 8 إلى 9 مساء من الاثنين وحتى السبت، ومن 8 صباحا إلى 9 مساء يوم الأحد. تقع الأسواق على 32839 نورث ويسترن هايواي في مدينة فارمينغتون هيلز. لحوم حلال للجالية الإسلامية. لطلباتكم من المطعم كول 248-538-7855. That is 248-538-7855. قشة ميديترينيان ماركت، خدمة متميزة ومعاملة راقية.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. We appreciate your time, and we're going to continue this wonderful program this morning with Dr. Shamma. Good morning, Dr. Shamma.
Good morning to you, Khalil, and good morning to all your listeners this beautiful morning.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time being with us. It's a cool morning. It's a beautiful summer day in Michigan. And just wanted to focus on one issue, and you're the well-known expert on this, and that is, would delaying pregnancy affect the possibility of someone getting pregnant later on?
Okay, so let's actually answer this question in a slightly different way from the way you asked it. But in general, if you have no problem getting pregnant, if a couple has no problem getting pregnant, then the chances of pregnancy is not affected in any way, shape, or form by delaying getting pregnant within a reasonable period of time. So let me tell you what I mean. So for fertile couples, delaying a few months or a year or so, it doesn't really create major concern, except under obvious circumstances. So let me actually start by discussing those obvious circumstances.
Sure.
The first one is the issue related to advancing reproductive age. So if a patient basically is, the female partner at least, is older, then of course delaying childbearing affects fertility, because as one ages, two things happen. The number of eggs that women have diminishes, and the other thing is the genetics of those eggs that exist becomes more of an issue as far as the eggs that remain, and therefore the chances of pregnancy diminish if you delay getting pregnant by several years or whatever as one ages.
Sure.
So the chance of pregnancy at 36 is less than 35, and 37 less than 36, and fertility rates decrease by somewhere around 2.5 to 5.8% each and every year of a woman's age going forward. So in that instance, if you delay childbearing, then even for fertile people, the chance of pregnancy gets less, and the chance of miscarriage, because of the genetic concerns, gets to be increased. The other reason why time matters for people is if there's an obvious problem. So what I'm trying to say is that if a couple is trying to get pregnant, or is not even trying to get pregnant, but the woman or the man has an obvious concern. For instance, the woman doesn't get a period except every 6 months, or the man doesn't have had trauma or have had issues related to his sexual function or to his genitalia or whatnot, or congenital or infections and so on. Any of those factors should be red flags in terms of concerns, whether it is to the woman or to the man. Another example, if the woman has had surgeries on her ovaries or in her pelvis and so on. Any of those factors, if present, then of course they shouldn't delay, because the problem already exists in the first place.
Sure.
So for those two reasons, time matters, miscarriage rates increase with age, and for fecundity, which is the chances of having a baby, decreases with age as far as the female age, should actually prevent people from delaying for long periods of time.
Absolutely.
And literally that basically, I hope that sort of answers the questions that you have.
Absolutely. Is it different between men and women? And you did kind of touched on that, but is it different? I mean,
yes, dramatically.
Yeah.
But, dramatically different. Dramatically different.
Mm-hmm.
See, us women, let me put it in perspective. When women are 12, 13 years of age, as soon as they go into puberty, they have somewhere around 400,000 eggs in their ovaries. At the age of 38, they only have 25,000 eggs left. So the number of eggs that they have diminishes with age. And the genetics of those eggs that remain, as I told you before, becomes more and more compromised, to the extent that 70% of the eggs, for instance, are genetically screwed up at the age of 38. And the number becomes even more so at the age of 40, 41, 42, as them being abnormal. So this happens to women. Men, on the other hand, the number of sperm that they produce, and by the way, they produce around 1,000 sperms a second throughout our lives, reproductive life. Can you imagine? The number of sperms that they produce does not diminish dramatically as we get older, and the genetics of the sperm does not become an issue until maybe after the age of 50 for men. So time does not matter as in any way, shape, or form in a similar fashion to women.
Absolutely. As far as healthy eggs and healthy babies, the younger the better?
Of course, because remember what I told you.
Yeah.
And again, I just want to give you some numbers to put this in perspective.
Sure.
Let's say as I suggested before, eggs become compromised genetically as one gets older.
Sure.
Which means that if you take a 35-year-old woman where literally 55% of her eggs are genetically screwed up, there is more chance at the age of 35 of having a baby with a genetic disorder, born with a genetic disorder, and there is more chance of a baby actually having a loss, the baby being lost as a miscarriage at the age of 35 than at the age of 25.
Sure.
And again, that's obvious for people because the incidence of, let's say, Down syndrome, which is a genetic concern in some kids that are born, and to give you some statistic for that, is somewhere around the age, at the age of 40, it's somewhere around maybe 1 in 100, 1%, where it's 1 in 1,000 at the age of 30. And the reason for that is because the genetics of the eggs becomes compromised as women get older. So the younger you are, the younger women are, the more the likelihood of success as far as fertility, and the more the chances of a healthier, genetically healthier pregnancy, and the less the chances of a miscarriage.
Absolutely. Now, I've heard this before, and I don't know how true it is. They say that if a woman has a child at an early age, then waits, 10 years, 15 years, then have another child, that's much easier than not having children at all till later in age. Is that correct, or it doesn't really matter?
That is not correct. That is not correct. Because, to some degree, women who've had kids before, at least we know the system works, that the uterus is normal, that they ovulate, that the tubes are open, that they do have eggs, etc. But that does not mean that if they delay childbearing by 10, 15 years, unless they had their kid at the age of 15 and now they're suddenly 30, you know what I'm saying? I'm joking. But so the point is that if you delay a long period, even if you've had children, well, a lot of factors change with time, like I just described.
Sure.
So it's not true what you heard suggested.
Now, if women have to wait because of careers or because of financial issues, whatever it is, are there any healthy habits they can have to make sure that they continue to be healthy, and whenever they're ready to have children, it would affect them less?
Well, they should do two things. Of course, they should not engage in things that would make their fertility worse. They should not be exposed to sexually transmitted diseases. They should not smoke. They should not drink a lot. So, a lot of things are obvious where they should or shouldn't do. But some of the things that happen with time are beyond their control. For instance, women develop endometriosis as they age. Women develop fibroids in their uterus as they age. Women have worse eggs as I just described before, as they age. So those things they have no control over. But one of the things that needs to be underscored is that some women have the option of actually stopping the time clock, which is basically, and we have a lot of patients that come to us for that reason, is they can always potentially, if they think they're going to get their PhD or get their MD or whatever things that they're going to get in terms of career or whatnot, they can freeze their eggs at a younger age to utilize them some years later down the road if they want to, if there is not an imminent marriage and imminent, baby on the way. So eggs could be frozen, could be retrieved and frozen so that they can be utilized when time comes.
Absolutely. And that's a safe thing to do.
Well, it's safe because we have the technology for that, and we have the ability to do this.
And this way somebody is really freezing a really young, good egg instead of waiting down, as you said, down the road, than taking the chances on that.
That is correct.
Absolutely. Is it costly?
Well, of course it's costly. It costs somewhere around $10,000 to do something like this. But again, for some people, it's not an option because the money is not available. But for other people, it's like an insurance policy that you hope you never use. But again, it is readily available.
Yeah. Do people freeze sperm, or they don't have to do that?
No, as I described, I mean, they freeze sperm in certain instances. Let's assume somebody has, God forbid, cancer, and they're going to get chemotherapy and whatnot, and so on. And before the sperm diminishes to zero, they might cryopreserve sperm to safeguard their ability to have kids in the future. So, for men, it's very different. They don't have to freeze sperm just to delay the time clock.
Sure. Now, if we don't use the sperm, if we don't engage in sexual activities, our body absorbs that. I mean, it's no big deal.
No, they just die. Nothing happens.
Okay. For example, in people who have vasectomies, I mean, they tied those tubes and the sperm stay in their bodies.
Sperm is still being produced at the same rate, but just doesn't get ejaculated and then degenerates.
Oh, so the body gets rid of it?
Yeah, no. It's just, I mean, like, I'll give you an example. If you have cells on your skin, when they die, I mean, then get replaced. I mean, you don't see them, correct?
Sure. Is there anything else we can tell women who want to wait, delay pregnancy?
They can wait if they want to. However, they shouldn't wait too long. But they have now that option in case they want to wait, is they can always freeze their eggs so that in case they waited, they would not have waited in vain.
Absolutely. And if someone needs to reach you for any questions or any concerns, how they can reach you?
Well, they can call our office. That I guess you might have the number 248-952-9600. That's our flagship office in Bloomfield Hills, they can come and see us.
Sounds good. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us to discuss this important
You're welcome.
issue. And have a
and again, good morning and blessed morning to you and to all your listeners.
Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye now. Again, I want to thank all of our guests today that were on the show. Also want to urge you to vote on August 7th. This is a very important election. And lastly, the last minute, I want to make sure that, I'm in the real estate business, and homes, the prices will continue going up. If you're in the market of buying and selling, please don't hesitate. Give me a call, 313-819-0101. We have several clients who are looking for homes. If you have a home, this is the time to sell. If you bought a home in 2010, 2011, when the market was down, you're sitting on a pot of cash. You can make a lot of money right now, and the market is very good. People paying good prices. Give me a call. I will evaluate your home, let you know what kind of investment you have, and explain to you why this is the right time to sell. Again, 313-819-0101. I can't stress that enough, how important it is. If you have a home, you have a property, and if you're looking for a home, give me a call too. We'll help you find your dream home. This is what we do, and we do it well, and we will be there for you every step of the way. Thank you so much for being with us. Again, my number is 313-819-0101. If you go to yamichigan.com, you'll find a lot of information about home buying and selling there, and we'll be more than happy to work with you. Thanks again. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye now.